and gentlemen, we have another Thursday edition of Hawk Talk for you. You are listening to 91.7 The Edge, WSUW Whitewater, and tuning in on UWW-TV on YouTube. As you can see, we have a special guest here on Hawk Talk. We are missing Hunter. Hunter is not here today, but we have Mr. Gabe in the fishbowl. Glad to have you here, man.
Zach, thank you very much, man.
Yeah, thank you for being here. A little bit of a last-second edition, but as well, we're glad to have him. So,
Thank you, guys.
With all that being said, we have Chris out here, we got Adam, we got Ryan, and we got Alex. Obviously, all main people on the show, but we have a very full show for you guys. A lot of sports to talk to you about here, and we're going to start with our Warhawk Thoughts, which we were going to do something, but without Hunter, we're not going to do that. We're going to instead bring you that next week. But the Warhawk Thought today, fellas, is who is the best player in sports to not win a ring or a championship? A lot of great players that have never had the pleasure of winning a ring. So here with Chris, what do you have?
Gotta go the man, Randy Moss. I thought Randy Moss was just like a very easy one to pick. I mean, outside of Jerry Rice, he's like those are like the two greatest receivers we've ever had, and it's kind of shocking he never won a ring, especially being on that Patriots team that went undefeated and the Giants getting the big upset victory. But it's a simple Randy Moss.
Yeah, I believe he had two. Did he had two times, right? Because he was with the Raiders that one year that they went to the Super Bowl against the Buccaneers.
I think he was on the 49ers too.
Maybe.
That was like the very end of his career when they played the Ravens.
Man, that's just unlucky. So many chances, but Randy Moss. All right, what do you got?
The former. Okay. I'm surprised this guy never got a ring, but Ken Griffey Jr. I'm surprised he never got a ring for how good he was.
Yeah, I mean, one of the best MLB players of all time, obviously. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I was about to say Bonds too, because even though he's the home run king, he still never got a ring either.
Yeah, man, just hearing Barry Bonds kind of rubs me the wrong way, just because. I mean, he should be a Hall of Famer. Obviously, the whole, steroid allegation and, juicing, but I always thought that he should have made the Hall of Fame. Can't believe he's not, but...
See, that's why I think Hank Aaron's the true home run king, because he never did that.
That's fair. Definitely a different conversation for me.
It was all raw power, but yeah, move on.
Absolutely. In the fishbowl.
I'm wearing his jersey today. We got Allen Iverson.
Oh.
I think he's one of the greatest to ever... One of the greatest NBA players never to win a ring. I think he's 11-time All-Star, if I'm correct on that. So, go AI.
Yeah, he did made a finals, carried his team to a finals, actually, I believe about 2001, lost to the late Kobe Bean Bryant, but almost another great player, Allen Iverson, definitely one of my favorite players of all time. Move over to Alex. Who do you have?
So my pick is Barry Sanders. Another one of those guys, great guys that were robbed by the Lions franchise, unfortunately, but yeah, Barry Sanders, top 5 running back of all time. Just amazing guy.
Where would you have him in your top 5? I know it's a little bit loaded question.
I
would say his top. I would say his top 3.
Okay.
I would say Walter Payton. People put Emmitt Smith, but he was behind one of the best O lines of all time, and it's just. But I guess what he did do with it was good. But I mean, yeah, I'd say Walter Payton, Barry Sanders, and Emmitt Smith interchangeable for me.
Okay, respect the opinion. Over to Gabe, special guest. What do you have?
Yeah, I just came up with this like 5 minutes ago, but I'm gonna go James Harden. It's still pending, obviously, because he's still active, but I don't think people understand how good. I shouldn't say that. They understand how good he was, but I think the last couple of years with him having injuries and everything, he's really. I don't want to say it's like hindered his legacy. But you go and you look back at all of the highlights, all of the stats, he should have beat Golden State that one year where they missed like 27 threes in a row, I think it was, in that Game 7 conference finals.
Yep.
Very easily should have a ring, in my opinion. He would have beat LeBron that year, too, I think. I'm going to go James Harden.
Not sure if I agree with you on the
Really?
take against LeBron.
Really?
Against LeBron. I don't know.
I know you love LeBron.
That
He's
was-
your sunshine, so...
Exactly. I have to back him up, but
That's fair.
yeah, James Harden. He's averaging 40. Yeah, that dude.
Yeah.
Stud.
He went
Absolute stud.
2 for 13 in that Game 7. From 3.
And that was
From
that was
3.
when Chris Paul got hurt. if I'm correct.
2018.
Yeah,
Yes.
Chris Paul, yeah.
Yeah. He had 32, 6, and 6 and 4 steals, but he went 2 for 13 beyond the arc.
Yeah. Regardless, still a very good player. Like you said, pending, not really looking great. Clippers team is not looking all that great, but
If PG was still there, I think there's an argument, but now, no. I don't see it.
Certainly would agree. My best player to never win a ring is going to be Dan Marino. This is a guy that, obviously, I love quarterbacks. This is a guy that was very ahead of his time. 9-time Pro Bowl, 3-time All-Pro. He was the guy that made passing popular in the NFL. That record that he set in 1984, what is it? 5,084 yards and 48 touchdowns. Stood for probably a solid 20, 30 years up until Drew Brees and Peyton Manning and the Tom Brady's, came into the league. But very ahead of his time. Love me some Dan Marino. But that being said, let's get into our first topic of the day, November Madness, not March Madness. College basketball is upon us, fellas. We've seen a lot of familiar faces at the top of the poll. Got the typical Blue Bloods, Kansas, UConn as of recent, Gonzaga, Duke, North Carolina. But just going through the first week of college basketball, just go through what we've seen so far from the games. Had a really good, I shouldn't say really good, but interesting matchup between Zaga and Baylor the other night. And we'll give some way too early predictions for March Madness. Talk about the Badgers a little bit later, but let's start with Adam. So what have you seen so far, I guess, from college basketball? And I guess, I know it's early, but who do you have for March Madness?
Well, just looking at the season so far, I know that UCF had a big upset at home on opening night against, I think, Texas A&M. And I'm just thinking to myself, on opening night, you take down the number 13 team in the country. That's really saying something for about how your season could potentially go. Not to mention the fact that Ohio State, who was unranked at the time, which they probably won't be pretty soon, they defeated number 19 Texas.
Yes.
80-72. So, yeah, I mean, okay, it is a game. Anyone can beat anyone at any given point. But if this is the way that things are going to go, I mean, this season should be really interesting. This won't be the only couple times that there will be upsets.
Certainly not.
But if I had to pick a winner for March Madness, I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to say Kansas. They're just too good this year.
Okay. I mean, yeah, they are number one in the AP poll for a reason. They got studs pretty much all over the place.
Yeah, even on the bench, too.
Even on the bench, yeah. Reminds me a lot of that Kentucky team. Devin Booker was on the bench for that Kentucky team, the one that, the Badgers beat, just not to...
the 38 and done.
Yes, yep, 38 and knocked out by Frank the Tank Kaminsky, baby. But last time that we were actually somewhat decent. But anyways...
That's a different topic.
Yeah, going with Kansas. All right, yeah. And like you said, yeah, definitely not the last time that we're going to see some, pretty interesting upsets. So let's go to Fishbowl.
I got number 7. I got Duke. I'm liking them a ton. I mean, Cooper Flagg is going to be so special to watch this year. Same with I think it's Newpel or Knuppel. Is the K silent?
No, it's not silent.
Okay, so it's Knuppel. He's a Wisconsin native as well, from Wisconsin Lutheran. I think he's also going to be a big contributor for Duke this year, who's looking for a vengeance after losing in the Elite Eight to New Mexico State when they went on their Cinderella run. But for me personally, I don't like projecting basketball from this far out. We're, 4 or 5 months from March Madness itself.
Yeah.
And for me, basketball is a game where teams get hot near March, and who's ever hot is going to have a good tournament. And it's all about the basics. I mean, rebounding, controlling the basketball, knocking down your threes, and just getting big stops when you need to. And I think that's what's going to give you your March Madness winner.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't know Knuppel. He's a Wisconsin native. Yeah, I had no idea.
Wisconsin Lutheran.
He went to Wisconsin Lutheran. No way.
Yeah,
yes. Man, I got to keep up with a little more college basketball in Wisconsin. I had no idea.
I watched him play before.
There's a lot of good basketball players from Wisconsin that I didn't really think of, like Tyler Hero, Tyrese Halliburton.
FBA.
Yeah. Hey, dude, oh my goodness. Freshman year.
There's a guy that plays for Iowa State, I think.
Iowa State right now?
Played at,
Jackson
Pavletsky.
He's now at Ohio. He's at Ohio now.
Now he is.
Yes.
No. There's another one.
Another one. Who's that?
I don't really know how you pronounce his last name. It's what is it? Yeah.
At Iowa State?
Yeah.
All right, somebody look that up, please.
I got you.
Just the Iowa State roster real quick. But
Got it.
Yeah, hey, shout out to Wisconsin
he
sports,
went to
man.
Pewaukee. That's how much I know.
Okay, gotcha. Anyways, yeah, very nice. So you're going Duke? That's your too early prediction?
Yeah, if I had to pick one, it'd be Duke.
Okay, yeah, I don't hate that. All right, well, let's move over to Alex. What have you seen so far, and who do you think too early prediction.
So yeah, this is a very exciting past couple days of basketball. I mean, for example, Gonzaga's beatdown against Baylor was just insane.
Yeah.
Final score being 101 to 63, a 38-point deficit, and 1.44 points per possession for Gonzaga. This is just a message sent from them. Nolan Hickman looked good. He had 17 points and led the team in scoring. This is the first time that Baylor had lost by more than 30 points under Scott Drew, which is pretty crazy. And Gonzaga was 42% good from three compared to Baylor's 14%. Just a mismatch from deep, which does not help you win games at all. And that is why I chose Gonzaga as my team to win it all.
Okay, yeah. All right. That's
It
all I
was
got. I like that.
Milan Momcilovic is the guy from Milwaukee.
Something like that.
Yeah, I think that's how you say it. I don't know.
I want to say it's Momcilovic. Momcilovic.
Sounds Russian.
Yes.
Yeah, probably Russian.
Who's to say?
This is a debate.
Some eastern part of the world.
Yeah.
We'll say that.
Not from America. That's how we got.
Well, he is from Milwaukee, but
Okay. Well, whatever. Regardless.
regardless.
Zaga for the pick. I like it. I feel like they're a team that they don't
they
really
need
play. Well, they don't really play too good of teams early in the season, and I think
Yeah.
like when they get to the tournament, they're like not ready for that kind of basketball. But like you said, definitely sent a message against the Baylor Bears. Except for that one dude that got absolutely yammed on. I forget who it was, but other than that, yeah, Zaga sent a message for sure.
Oh, are you talking about his son? The coach's son?
Oh,
Who's-
not the coach's
I
son.
don't
Wait,
know.
no.
Was it the
What
coach's
game
son?
was that? A
No,
coach
yeah,
put
yeah.
in his son, and then he got yammed on.
I think that might have been him because he was like smaller. He was like,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's terrible.
Setting him up
It's a
for
head.
failure.
It's a head topic
Who,
I've ever
Joe
seen,
Field?
but I don't.
I think it was Joe
Yes,
Field.
it was.
Yes.
It was.
Yes.
He was up there for 2 minutes of game time. He got dunked on.
He just set his son up for failure.
Yeah,
at
that is
point.
tough. Anyways, moving on. Gabe, who do you have? What are you thinking?
I like UConn. Give me the 3P, man. Give me the
Ooh.
3P.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
I know they lost Donovan Clingan. Obviously, he went to the NBA this year, playing over there in Portland. I think when you have a team put together as well as they are, and you sustain that level of success, obviously, like Ryan was saying, when you get to by the time you get to March, there's so many different things happening, and you know, basketball is such a dynamic sport in the way that anything can happen. It's really just unpredictable. You don't know. Again, it's called March Madness for a reason too. Like keep that in mind.
Exactly.
I like UConn though because I do think I don't think many people thought they were going to repeat, but they did. And why not? Why not 3 in a row, man? Why not?
Yeah, I don't hate it. I like you said, I was one of those people that did not think that they were going to repeat, and man, did they prove me wrong. I mean, they basically beat down literally every single person they played. It wasn't even close, any game.
no.
I don't think they lost a game or won a game by less than 15, 17 points, something like that. It's terrible. But yeah, like you said, Klingon not there. They do have Alex Caravan, the 6'8" forward. He's going to be a junior this year. He seems to be probably seemingly the star of this team moving forward, but looking for a three-peat from UConn. I don't hate it. And then, gentlemen, obviously we have, forgive me, Chris, obviously. Guess I'll start with that.
It's a
Go
bit
ahead.
weird that I'm sitting here.
I
today,
know.
but,
Not used to it.
the team that I've been looking at in college basketball, I talked about them on the Monday show, is number 2 ranked Alabama. It's just kind of weird to me because I remember the last couple of years they've been getting better, but I just never thought I'd hear Alabama being a highly ranked basketball school. It was kind of weird. But
Yep.
last year they made it pretty deep into the tournament. They were they made it to the Final Four and lost to UConn. This year, anything can happen. Like everyone's been talking about, just getting hot at the right time. It could be Bama's year. Who knows? I do also have a bit of a sleeper team that I always like to look at in the tournament, and that's Creighton. I've just always really liked Creighton. So, that's another team you can kind of look at too, I guess, as a sleeper who can make a deep run in the playoffs. So.
Okay. I have a little bit of beef with Creighton because I picked them to go to the Final Four last year, and then they lost in the second or third round.
I think I picked them going far too. And
Yeah. That tall dude they had, Kalkbrenner, I think he just dropped 49 points the other night. It was probably last night or the night before, but that dude went insane.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, you need Zach Edey 2.0 possibly. I mean, you need guys like that if you want to go far in the tournament, so I definitely do not hate that pick whatsoever. And then just really quick, I just want to touch on the Badger game. Badger's first game came against the Holy Cross Crusaders. They were looking shaky in the first half. They were actually down in the first half before absolutely pulling away in the second half. They won 85-61. Just open the floor to anybody here. I guess just what you guys see from that game, and what do you think the Badgers are going to look like going forward?
I mean, I liked how they came back in the second half to finish that strong against, like you said, when they were down, and to have the resilience and grit to come back. Like, that just shows how much this team can stick together. And they have Montana State tonight at 7 p.m., and then they also have Appalachian State on Sunday at 11 a.m. So if we can rack up those 3 wins in a row, ideally, they should be wins. I mean, then we're looking pretty good going into the Kohl Center on Friday the 15th at 8 p.m. against number 10 ranked Arizona. So I think you get good momentum going here, then you can have a shot against Arizona.
Yeah, for sure.
I think the Badgers are a men's basketball team that play in Madison, Wisconsin, representing the University of Wisconsin. And that's about all I have to say about them.
That's fair enough.
Solid analysis. Yeah,
That's a very solid, but
it's
very
all,
accurate
it's all
analysis.
true.
I never thought of that.
It's all
No.
true.
They also
really?
play in the Big Ten Conference.
Wow.
Oh,
Yes.
That's
No,
new.
believe
That's
it or
new
not.
information.
the Big Ten. When
mind's
did
just-
that happen?
my mind's
What?
Just
What-
got leaked.
what is the
Just
Big
got
Ten?
leaked.
I
Just got
don't
leaked.
even know. Yeah.
Sorry, guys. No, I think my thing with the Badgers is that every year we see things that's like, oh, that looks good, that looks good, and then it just disappears come
yeah.
March, and we saw that against James Madison, especially where James Madison, they came firing out right away, and they just kept it going. They kept their foot on the gas pedal. We'll see how, obviously, this season it's gonna go, but I don't even know if they'll make the tournament. I'll be honest. That's
Really?
how little confidence I have in
See,
the Badgers.
I wanna add to that. I think the Badgers season is gonna come down to like our front court with Winters and Crowell. Winters being a sophomore, he's showed flashes this season or last season, and Crowell a senior. He'll have to dominate the glass and the paint for the Badgers to succeed. We really haven't seen a dominant front court since, in my opinion, Kaminsky and Nigel Hayes.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you could put Ethan Happ and Nate Reavers in there, but they don't compare to Kaminsky and Hayes and the dominance they brought to our front court. And then for our guard play, like John Blackwell had a pretty decent season last year, and he showed out last game. I think he dropped like 23 or 30 points. John Blackwell.
He
The
had
other night?
16.
He did. He had 16.
Okay. Well, he was like leader in minutes, wasn't he? I think I was looking.
I think
Yeah,
he
he
was.
was.
Okay.
I know
30
that John
minutes, yeah.
Tanji
Okay.
had the
Yes.
most points with like 23.
Yeah, I was just going to say shout out to John Tanji.
John Tanji.
He did
Mhm.
lead the way, 23 points on 6-11 shooting. He's a senior from Omaha. Not really sure where we got him. I assume he's a transfer.
I think he came from Mizzou.
Probably. Okay.
Yes.
Probably, yeah.
Pretty sure, because I don't think he even played last season.
Yeah, definitely
Okay.
a transfer somewhere. But yeah, it feels like we just lost all our dudes
I
over
know.
the season. Yeah.
I mean, AJ Store went to
Kansas
Kansas.
Store. Yep.
Yeah, then Chucky Hepburn went to Louisville.
And Chucky
Yeah.
Hepburn. Yep.
But then Connor Sejan went to Nebraska.
He did. We still have Max Kleshmidt though.
Oh yeah, Klesmet. Yeah, I like that.
I love Klesmet, but
Yeah.
I think guard, like Gabe was saying, Greg Gard is. We're gonna see him lose some games that we probably shouldn't, and we're gonna be very frustrated. But then we're gonna win some games that we probably shouldn't also. It's just the way the Badgers are every year. Same with football, obviously too. But I think the Badgers can make a run this year, and I think if we get that front court going, and especially with Blackwell and Tanji, like if we get our guard play going too, and then you put Kleshman at the 3 there, and I think the Badgers have something going there.
Yeah, fair enough. Definitely seems to be the theme of Wisconsin sports. You know, just giving us just enough and then not really doing well when time comes. But going back to what Gabe said, according to Bracketology by Joe Lenardi on ESPN, the Badgers are not predicted to make the tournament as of right now. They are not. So I do not see them anywhere here on the bracket. Hopefully that changes. We can sneak in as maybe like a 7 or 8 seed, which is kind of, it seems to be the past couple years is where we've gotten into. But with all that being said, we're going to keep things moving here with NBA Smokescreen. So we've seen some very interesting things so far. About 8-9 games into the season, the Bucks suck. To be fair,
As much as it hurts to say.
as much as it hurts to say, obviously. Cavs are undefeated, which is surprising. I've seen Suns looked really good. Lakers are like maybe good, maybe kind of not. But yeah, we've seen some very interesting things. Some that we've expected and some that we did not expect. So I guess my question to you, gentlemen, is what do you think is real and not real so far from what we've seen? And then obviously, I did ask you before, I would like you to pick a team, which is not the Bucks or the Lakers, just to highlight and just kind of speak on their season so far, their outlook. So we're going to start in the fishbowl here for this topic. Ryan, what do you have?
So pretty much mine was just calling out the conferences for the East to start. I mean, there's 13 teams that are 500 or lower. 11 of them are under 500, which is actually like ridiculous.
Yeah.
Everyone just looks like they're in a slump and not playing their great basketball. On the flip side, the Western Conference only has 6 teams 500 or under, 4 of them being under 500. The Nuggets are back on a roll. They've won 3 in a row. Their last 2 being 2-point victories, however, 121-119 against the Raptors and 124-122 against the Thunder. But for me, I'm going to stay in the West for my sleeper team. I did it at the beginning of the season. I'm a big Rockets guy. For some reason, something sticks out to me about the Rockets and Jalen Green.
All right.
They're 5-3 right now. They're 4th in the Western Conference. They've played the Spurs 3 times already, and they're 2-1 against them. And the Spurs are not playing great basketball, but again, they have Wemby and they have CP3, who's been dishing assists like left and right, and they put up a good fight in OT against the Warriors, who are 7-1. They lost 127-121. They're 4-1 in their last 5. They blew the Spurs out by 27, and they beat the Knicks by 12. So right now, it looks like there's like spreading the wealth. Jalen Green, like I said, he's leading the team with 22.6 points a game. Sengun has been averaging 16.4 and then 11.4 in points and rebounds, respectively. And they played the same starting 5 all 8 games. So they're getting consistent play from all their guys. Their 2 main bench guys are Tari Eason and Amin Thompson, both averaging 21 and 24 minutes. And then head coach Ime Udoka, after being fired from the Celtics, he's looked very well in his second season as Rockets head coach. So look for the Rockets to make a good play in the playoffs here.
Yeah, you did shout out the Rockets before the season started. I do remember that. And they're 4th in the West. Obviously, very early, only 8 games in, but 5-3 for the Rockets for what they've been through the past couple of seasons is very impressive for them. Young core that has been waiting for them to like actually make a jump. So perhaps this is the season. Let's keep things rolling in the fishbowl.
So yeah, so my real or not real, I don't think Doc Rivers is a real person. So he's just like,
It's a ghost out there.
I just don't get it. Like, I'm usually an optimistic sports fan, but it just seems like denial at this point. Like, fans want Doc Rivers gone for obvious reasons. And then I remember under a comment, I think it was on Instagram, but Damian Lillard responded like absolutely not to someone saying they want him fired, which, I mean, I get it. He's not going to flame his coach and say, like, get him out of here, but, I mean, respectable.
Bet you he's thinking it, though.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I mean, he's not going to go out and say that the coach should be fired, so I get why he defended. And only 12 out of the 150 teams have gone to the playoffs after starting 1-6. Will the Bucks become the 13th? Honestly, I doubt it. But even Doc Rivers himself says, like, there's no alarms going off on the inside. Like, they have no worries, which maybe he's just trying to sound like he's got it under locks, but I don't know. These last 2 games have been their best. Like, I think the Bucks have been playing the best these last 2 games against the Cavs, but they just couldn't get it done both times, and it's just so unfortunate. But big matchup tonight as we face the Jazz, who have the same record, so hopefully we can show that we're not really a 1-6 team. But honestly, at this point, I don't know.
Yeah, it should be an easy win, but I mean, like we've seen against teams like the Pistons or like the Grizzlies, some games that we should win, we just haven't really been able to. So,
Yeah.
Who is your one team then, besides Bucks or Lakers, that you just to speak on their season so far?
So my team is actually the New York Knicks. So like I was kind of wondering. So I think they sit at 3-4 record right now. I was kind of wondering what happened to them. Like they're not like in a bad spot at all. But I just kind of expected more of a super team, and that's what everyone kind of expected. Mm-hmm. But I really do think rim protection is just a huge issue for the Knicks this year. I mean, Cat's defense is kind of taking a tumble. I mean, in fact, opponents are shooting 28 for 36 against him, which is not great. And the Knicks also have 3.7 blocks per game. That's 28th in the NBA. Wow. The Knicks opponents are also shooting 71.5%, which is one of the worst in basketball. So, yeah, there's no question about their offenses. Brunson and Cat both average over 23 points a game, along with Mikal doing his part with 16. Their offense is top 5, sitting at number 4 for the offensive rating, according to ESPN. So, yeah, the Knicks really need to step up their defense, and it's partly the reason why they have a 3-4 start. But, yeah, offense looks great. Defense is the problem for them right now.
I would certainly agree. Like we've mentioned multiple times on this show, definitely was a little bit interesting, that trade between Minnesota and The Knicks, Cat is not really. I mean, he's just a big guy that shoots threes. That's pretty much all that he's known for at this point.
And gets rebounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess so. Yeah.
Don't
Happens
break
when
up
you're-
the Nova boys. This is what it's telling us.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. Seems like losing Hartenstein to the Thunder is going to be a little bit more impactful than people probably thought. Do you think they make a trade for a big guy, or do you think they kind of stay put with what they got?
I think they're probably going to try and stay put and just kind of work some things out because it is still early. But, we'll see.
Okay. Moving on to the fishbowl to Gabe.
Yeah, I wanna highlight the Orlando Magic. Obviously, their record right now shows that they're 3-6. Doesn't look great, obviously, on paper. You look at their last 5 games, though. I mean, they're all on the road. They played some really hard teams. I mean, really, they should have beat the Bulls. I don't think anyone's going to argue that. I think when you look at Orlando, I think on paper their roster compared to Chicago is better.
Mm-hmm.
They should have won that game. But you look at their other games, you got Cleveland, you got Dallas, you've got Oklahoma City, you've got Indiana. Those are all teams that made the playoffs last year. And rosters are looking pretty similar-ish since compared to last year, too. And especially considering Orlando took Cleveland to 7 games last year in the first round. Like, those two teams, I think that was probably my favorite first-round series last year. But Orlando, obviously, they added Kentavious Caldwell-Pope in the offseason, took him from Denver, which I think is was a very good pickup for them, especially bringing that championship experience to such a young core.
Absolutely.
Between Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner. But I think they're kind of just a smokescreen right now, basically. Like, I really do expect them to kind of pick things up a little bit more. They got a nice 5-game home stretch here coming up against, you got New Orleans tomorrow night, then you got Washington, you got Charlotte, and then Indiana again. I believe that's the 3rd time this season already they'll be playing them. And then you got Philadelphia. So I really do think Orlando, I think they'll probably hover around that 4 to 5 seed again this year in the East. But I mean, who knows? Based off how we've seen things shake out so far early on in the season, you just never know. Again, like we talked about earlier, with college basketball, same principle applies for the NBA. You just don't know what's going to happen ultimately.
Yeah, people don't want to talk about it, but the Magic, they got something cooking over there. They got something cooking in Orlando.
They do.
All Magic fans are waiting for the return of Paolo Banchero, who was averaging 29 points. 29 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists before he went down through 5 games that he played. Hopefully Franz Wagner can pick it up. And like you said, those are all very winnable games.
Yeah.
Magic known for their defense. So I would agree. I think 4 or 5 seed is probably a good place for them. So
Yeah.
The Golden State Warriors have been kind of surprising me this year. I mean, I just thought that their run's almost over. I thought after that 2022 championship we wouldn't be talking about that much, and here we are. They're sitting 7-1. They've been looking good this year. That was just kind of like a team, though, that I was kind of looking at. I was going to talk about Orlando a little bit, but he got across all the points,
My bad.
My boy Paolo Banchero, I love that guy. But the main team that I really like is the Phoenix Suns. They've always, since that championship run in 2021, were good enough. They lost them, the Bucks.
Lost the Bucks,
Let's
yeah.
go. They, Devin Booker has been balling as always, and they got Kevin Durant. I'm a big Kevin Durant guy. I love Kevin Durant. So no bias here though. But Phoenix, them and OKC and Golden State, they've been running the top of the Western Conference, and I think Phoenix has got, them and Golden State got the most experience out of those three. OKC's still pretty young, but I'm excited to see what Phoenix can do, and hopefully they can finally make a deep run of the playoffs with this team.
do you think they stay healthy enough to make that happen, though, is the question.
That is a good question.
Yeah.
If they do, they can make that run happen, but I'm sometimes I doubt it, because it's just we got to see what happens,
Yeah. Injuries for just any team are absolutely detrimental. Like we said, the Paolo Banchero injury is like horrific.
That hurt my
for
fantasy
Magic.
basketball.
Yeah, I would have loved to draft Paolo Banchero, but at this point, I'm not going to say glad I didn't, but, with him being injured, that definitely does not look good for fantasy managers. But let's go over to Adam.
So, I mean, honestly, like when I picked OKC, I was kind of basing it off of the playoffs last year. Well, last season, I should say.
Mhm.
But I didn't really think that they would be doing this good as they are right now, because I think they're 7-1 as of right now. I mean, granted, their starting five are young, yes, but I mean, you got SGA. I mean, he's like really the only like older guy that they have, like with them. So, I mean, you have that guy, and then like you have a bunch of younger guys who are basically looking up to him, like for guidance. And I'd say it's been working because because if you're starting with this good of a record, you're doing something right.
Yeah, I was actually spoke to Wednesday show host Carson yesterday, just a little bit about the Bucks, and I was saying that, I mean, hypothetically speaking, of course, because you don't want to trade Giannis, but if the Bucks were to, hypothetically, of course, trade Giannis, Dame, Brook Lopez, and Chris Middleton, we could become the next Oklahoma City Thunder. Because like you said, they're doing really well with how young they are. They have a solid star player in SGA, and like you said, it's working. Like, I mean, they look really good. They've been contending so far these past couple seasons, and they look like they're ready to take that next step. Chet Holmgren, young guy, absolute stud. Just like you said, following the lead of SGA. So
As much as that would suck, I think it'd be pretty cool to see what a return would be for one of the greatest basketball players we've ever seen in Giannis.
absolutely. I mean, this is probably like third or fourth time I said this. If Rudy Gobert went for 4 first-rounders, just imagine what Giannis would go
Exactly.
for.
It
Yeah.
hurts my soul to think about it, but at the same time,
Need
little optimistic.
Do you think it'd be 4 separate deals, or they package guys together? Because we see NBA teams package guys together to like throw them in there.
Yeah, but I feel like if they packaged them, they would have to give up way too
Pretty
many
much
picks.
your entire roster.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what that would look like. Obviously, this is all hypotheticals, but the trade rumors are ramping up, which is not great to see for Milwaukee fans.
Chris, try it in 2K tonight.
I have to download it, but I can do it.
Yeah, we'll get back to you
take a
guys.
hot
We'll
minute.
run a 2K simulation. We'll get back. But my team, which, I said no Bucks and Lakers, is the Lakers. That's why I said no Lakers, just because I want to talk about the Lakers.
You and LeBron.
Me and LeBron. This team
Yeah,
is
and I saw
gonna-
that Bronny went down to the G League.
He
So.
did. Bronny went down in the G League. This team is going to give me a heart attack, fellas. Like,
You're saying.
they gave me hope, right? 3-0 start. JJ Redick looks really good. They're playing hard. Everything's clicking. And then now we've lost 3 out of the last 4, and I don't really know what to think. I mean, we lost to the Pistons by like 15. If we're losing to the Pistons by 15, like, what are we doing?
I said just throw JJ Redick in at the 2.
That's actually not a bad play. Yeah. Hey, we need shooting. We definitely need shooting. Just the fact that LeBron is like the hardest, like he's working the hardest out there on the floor, and he's 40. Like, this team, man, they didn't change anything about the roster over the season. Didn't like that. D'Angelo Russell, bum. Don't like that guy. I liked the Connect pick. Dalton Connect, he's a certified stud from what I've seen. The other white boy to go alongside Austin Reeves, who is balling this season. But really like what I've seen from Anthony Davis, but we're just too top-heavy. Don't have enough depth. Don't have enough shooting to play the ball that JJ Redick wants to play. He's a great coach. JJ Redick has done a very good job with what he's been given, but just need to see a little more effort there on the floor. But with all that being said, let's move into some football, fellas. We have NFL mid-season awards. Now, believe it or not, we're halfway through the NFL season. Sad to say, but today we're going to be making our awards. We're going to be making award picks. So we're going to start with Coach of the Year, gentlemen. So Coach of the Year, just throughout the first half of the season, who do you have? And we're going to start with Gabe in the fishbowl.
Oh man, okay. Let's go Dan Quinn.
Yeah.
With the Commanders. I think everyone's gonna probably say him.
Yeah, I already did too.
Yeah.
Yep, me
yeah,
too.
So is it? Are we just calling it right there? Is Dan
Let's
Quinn?
just give it to Dan Quinn.
Yeah, let's just give it
That
to
guy's
him. Why
got
not? Why
First
not?
year head coach too at that team too. That's just crazy.
Yeah.
It's a good pick. Absolutely.
Although, shout out Raheem Morris, though.
I was actually about to say Raheem Morris, too. That Atlanta team.
Yeah, and Dan Campbell, too.
Yeah, I was about to say Dan Campbell.
I feel like he's in the
Jeez.
running every year.
He is.
Did we all just like have the same notes for the Coach of the Year?
I think so, yeah. Well, shout out to Dan Quinn for taking it pretty much
Unanimous.
almost unanimously, yeah.
that was quick.
You are named 91-70 Edges mid-season Coach of the Year. So congratulations. Congratulations to Dan
That is
Quinn.
a very prestigious award to have.
Very
Very nice.
No one else has ever had that award.
I know. I know. These are all first-time awards we're handing out here,
Yes.
so that it's very, very special. But now we're going to move into defensive and offensive rookie of the year. We're going to do these both at the same time, and we're going to start. Well, obviously, you guys didn't really get a. We'll move over to Alex because you didn't really get to talk about the coaches, so we'll keep going.
So my offensive rookie of the year, I mean, I have Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
Just what you see him do with his legs and with his arm is just insane. I think it's pretty. I think it's pretty obvious to me, to be honest. And then my defensive rookie, I actually have Jared Verse, just like front runner on that Rams defensive line. Ever since Aaron Donald being gone too, I mean, his first year there, he's going crazy. He is. I think he's definitely front runner for defensive rookie of the year for me.
Yeah, the Rams seem to just hit on their picks. They were a team
do.
that never had picks, and now every time they have a pick, they just hit on it, every single time.
They know what to grab, I guess.
I guess so. It's ridiculous. Shout out to all those scouts over there, because, man, they deserve raises. That's all I know. But let's keep things moving.
I mean, yeah, you got to shout out Jared Verse for defensive rookie of the year, but I mean, Laitu Latu has played pretty well on a Colts team that has not performed to expectations, but their defense has not been horrible.
Yeah.
And I've liked Latu since UCLA. That wanted the Packers to draft him, but we had too many edge rushers already. And then for offensive rookie of the year, it's my boy Jaden Daniels. I literally have a jersey coming. Speaking of the jerseys, Chris, they were shipped.
Finally?
They were shipped.
Oh,
I
my
thought
gosh.
they're already there.
No, they were shipped, and my roommate is going home, so he'll bring them this weekend.
And I promise I'm still upholding my end of the Justin Herbert jersey.
There you go.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know it's been a while, but we
I will-
have the Herbert jersey.
I will get the Herbert jersey.
It's on the way.
Yeah, so my picks are Jaden Daniels and Laitu Latu.
And Laitu Latu. Okay.
Oh, they were supposed to be rookies? I just did players in general.
Rookies. We were going to get to players later, but we do have rookies right now, yes. I did forget to put that in email. I apologize.
Oh, no. Well, I mean, offensive, yeah. I also put Jane Daniels because why not? No, I didn't know you said rookie or not because I did put down the DPOY
Yes.
already. I put down
will be
Trey Hendrickson of the Bengals.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he has 11 sacks right now. I mean, how could you not?
Yeah, he's been playing very well. A lot of people thought it would be Aiden Hutchinson.
The one
until he
thing
went
that
down.
sucks about that is obviously the Bengals haven't been too hot.
Yeah, but
that's
he's
true.
been the one bright spot on the Bengals defense, though.
And I do think he would get a lot more recognition if they were a little bit better.
It's the same with Joe Burrow and MVP. You would
This
get a
is
lot
true.
more recognition if they were winning.
Absolutely. And then, what do you have?
Well, defensive player of the year, rookie of the year, I'll go Jared Verse, and offensive rookie of the year, I mean, it's got to be Jane Daniels, right?
Yeah.
Fair enough. So, I guess.
Yeah, rookie, like for defense, it'd be Verse for me as well.
Okay, well, seemingly we have the offensive and defensive rookie of the year presented by 91.7 The Edge. Offensive rookie of the year is going to Jane Daniels. Shout out Jane Daniels.
First time ever.
Yeah, first time ever. And the first ever defensive rookie of the year is going to Jared Verse from the Rams. Shout out, shout
You
out.
should just email them cardstock pieces of paper. Or, I mean, not email, but just mail them cardstock pieces of paper.
You are the 91.7 The Edge offensive rookie of the year.
Congratulations.
Very, very,
No
Mid-season.
Yeah.
yeah.
They won't know what to think about
It's
it.
very,
Yeah.
$50
very
gift card, like Quick Trip.
prestigious. Very prestigious.
That's your reward, a $50 like Quick Trip gift card. Woohoo! The next time you're in Green Bay.
All right, and then I'm going to combine a couple of these. We're going to go for best moment so far throughout the midseason. We're going to go best moments. Don't really have time for a couple of the other ones, so we're going to go best moments. We're going to start with Gabe in the fishbowl.
Josh Myers puking.
That is pretty good. That's good.
Oh, my
Thank you very
word,
much.
dude.
That's not a bad one. Yeah, that was a whole thing too. Wasn't Malik Willis was like, I didn't want to touch the ball.
Yeah.
Slipped out of his hands almost.
LaFleur's like, why didn't you pass the ball? He's like, oh, because there was puke on it.
That's a good one. I forgot that happened. Really. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Really?
Yeah. That's a good one. I forgot until he said it. Yeah. And I was like, oh yeah. I remember.
Reminded of
Oh, my God.
That's been like the highlight of the season for me, honestly. Because it was so.
Best part.
I feel like it was everywhere, and I feel like everyone.
Yeah.
I don't know. Obviously, it's just the Packers bias too on my end, but I just thought it was hilarious.
Well, I mean, he also didn't have to do it on the ball too. You know, just like go
I
to the side.
saw
a little bit.
that.
Yeah,
It made
yeah.
me sick.
It was like 2 seconds before he snapped the ball. He went down, threw up, and then snapped the ball. It was so funny.
Talking about this is making me think of that college football player. I think it was Alabama. It was the lineman. He just threw up on the ground and shook his head at the guy on defense.
Oh, I remember that.
Man, that's gotta be scary, right? Just seeing that, he's like, "Yeah, let's go."
Or they're like he's like in the huddle, just facing the defense, throws up and just stares at him.
It's gotta be so intimidating. But keep things moving in the fishbowl. Best moment.
I'm going Tyreek Stevenson's taunt to the freaking crowd,
Oh
and then
my
he
word.
goes and tips it up for the wide receiver right behind him. Just crazy, just such a bad turn of events there for him. But
Yeah,
that's
that's
bad.
Yeah.
That is literally what you call karma.
That's
Yeah.
just terrible.
Absolutely.
On camera too. Got him in 4K too. It's just
the fan point of view on that one.
Yeah.
so bad.
I'm gonna have to combine a couple moments here. Will Levis, whenever he has a turnover,
Oh my god.
we have so
just-
many memes from him.
Yeah, all the meme pictures.
Shout out to Brendan.
Yeah. So Will Levis there for Will Levis turnover.
Oh,
Okay.
my word.
Adam, what do you have?
I would have to say, actually, I don't think it happened that long ago, but that spin that Barkley had in the middle of the air.
Oh yeah.
How in the world did he do that? Like,
Oh, the backward
like
turtle.
Yep.
Backward turtle.
Spin move and then into the
Oh,
backward
yeah,
turtle.
yeah. How?
Yeah,
How?
Greatest ball carry move I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's something you see in the yard.
Never done.
It is.
Apparently he got tested the day after too.
Of course he did. Yeah.
Not a shocker.
Well, it's just as a running back, right? What makes you think like, yeah, I'm gonna jump over this guy backwards?
Yeah, and if it doesn't work, then you're like the biggest clown, and if it
Yeah.
works, and you're like
because
a superhero.
you're risking injury if you do
Like,
that.
you turn
yeah.
into a legend if it works.
Oh yeah. Well, now I just believe he has. But Chris,
Like, we already thought it was like Odell with the that
Yeah.
catch.
It's gonna be one of those things you see on like highlights in like years from now.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Best hurdles of all time
Iconic
or whatever.
moment, for sure, 100%.
I gotta go with the Garrett Wilson catch.
That's going too.
Great catch.
That was
Phenomenal.
Yeah, kids 2 years from now will be like, Garrett me instead of Odell me.
He hit the MJ logo too.
He did.
It's crazy.
A little bit controversial though. Was it a catch, fellas?
When I watched it live, I was like, no, like it looked real, and then once they resumed it, I was like, wait a minute, it was close, but it wasn't like his ankle that went down or something.
It was his shin, I thought.
or
Yeah.
Achilles
Ankle or
or something.
shin.
They said
it
his
was
shin.
something.
Yeah,
Made it
he
2 feet.
didn't
weird.
tap
It's
the
an-
foot.
It is weird. It's
I
a weird.
think if the shin's down, it's 2 feet.
It is.
Before
Any part of his
knee
body.
was out of bounds though.
It is weird. It's a weird.
I don't think you hit it, honestly.
I don't
John
think
Madden's
we'll
words.
ever get a clear definition of what a catch is.
I
Probably
do
not.
feel like partly the rest were like, I mean, that catch was crazy. Let's just like, let's just
Yeah,
let's
why
just give
not?
him something.
They're
Like,
like-
Yeah.
try
right.
to make it work, but yeah.
That's a really
Yeah.
good point too. My roommate, who's a Texans fan, was just going crazy
Oh,
because he's like,
gosh.
"It's not a catch. It's not a catch." I showed him a video I saw the other day. Literally, like you just said. First comment was like, "Refs probably said, guys, that was really cool. Let's just give it to him."
Refs are like banded together, be like, I've got money on this game.
Well, gentlemen, everyone said something different, so I don't really know what to go with. I feel like for me, just to break the tiebreaker, like Saquon's move was so cool, but I have to give it to the Hail Mary. Not even just the Tyreek Stevenson part, but just the Hail Mary in general.
I know.
Yeah.
That was
Absolutely
really cool.
absurd.
That
It was
really cool.
crazy.
So, without further ado, the first ever 9170 Edge Best Moment of the Year award goes to the Washington Commanders and Tyreek Stevenson for the Hail Mary.
Hey!
Shout out. All right, moving on to Offensive and Defensive Player of the Year. Obviously, we know you said Trey Hendrickson, Offensive and Defensive Player of the Year. Who do you have for your Offensive Player of the Year?
I did have Jaden again, but for this, I'm gonna have to say Gino.
Gino, okay.
Yeah, definitely Gino.
Yeah, he is, I believe, leading the league in passing yards right now.
Yeah,
Yes,
like
sir.
2,300 something
Yes.
yards. Yeah.
2,560.
Oh,
Shout out.
2,500. Okay.
Shout out Geno Smith, man. Took him 10 years to actually become a starter. That's so crazy.
What a stud.
That is really cool. Yeah. All right, let's move over to the fishbowl.
So we're doing combining both OPY and
Yes,
DPY.
both who we have for offensive and defensive player of the year.
Okay, I got Lamar for Offensive Player of the Year.
Okay.
He's having a phenomenal season. 20-2 touchdown interception ratio, 2379 passing yards, and then 505 on the ground. He's just playing phenomenal, out of his mind. His teammate Derrick Henry coming in second, close behind him. Already at 1,052 rushing yards, 11 touchdowns. But
Yeah.
my DPOI, I had Trey Hendrickson too, but I think Dexter Lawrence, playing on a very crappy Giants team, has been an anchor on that D-line for years, and he has 9 sacks already, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
From a D-tackle.
Yeah, for a D
Aaron
tackle,
Donald
that's
numbers.
crazy.
Dude, he's getting double-teamed every play and still getting to the quarterback. It's ridiculous.
Couldn't agree more. It took long enough for him to get some recognition.
Yeah.
So, keep things moving in the fishbowl.
I have Derrick Henry for my front runner for Offensive Player of the Year. I mean, yeah, like Ryan said, 1,000 yards already, 9 games in. I think last year, 17 games, he had 1,000. He had 1,117 games played, and then this year he's 9 games played, 1,000 yards already. He's averaging 6.3 yards per attempt, which is just insane. This is the highest of his career. And then, yeah, Defensive Player of the Year, I actually also have Trey Hendrickson, like Adam said. I mean, he just had a 4-sack game. That's just unheard of. Those are always insane. Love watching those little game replays and him getting 4 sacks. I mean, it would have been Aiden Hutchinson in my opinion, but I mean, his injury is just so unfortunate. But yeah, I'm going Trey Hendrickson for DPOY.
Alrighty, on to Gabe. Mr. Gabe, what do you have?
I'm going to say Derrick Henry for Offensive Player of the Year. I forget where I saw it, but if you go and you look at Derrick Henry's stats this season compared to Adrian Peterson's MVP season, they are like basically identical. I think Derrick Henry has him just a bit on, I think, yards per carry, I want to say. But, I mean, Adrian Peterson, obviously, in his prime, was like one of the greatest running backs we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry is no different this season. I mean, really, his whole career, obviously, but like, just this season in particular. I mean, he's just on another level, and I mean, it's such a cool combination between him and Lamar. I mean, I grew up. I don't know about you guys, but when I grew up, I had like my favorite NFC team, so obviously the Packers, and then my favorite AFC team. I always flip-flopped between Baltimore because I just loved Ray Lewis, and Kansas City because my uncle was just a big Chiefs fan. But now that everyone likes Kansas City, I'm like, okay, that's not cool anymore. Like, I gotta
He
ditch
liked it
them.
before they were cool guys.
Yeah,
Before they were cool.
that's basically
Before
what I'm saying.
Tay-Tay and Travis.
Yeah.
I liked them when Joe Montana was there.
There you go. Yeah.
Fair enough.
No, but Derrick Henry, though, I think for Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year, I think I will also go Trey Hendrickson. Put it in there.
Okay. Trey Hendrickson leading the league with 11 sacks. And let's finish off with Chris out here.
Well, I know Alex said Lamar Jackson, right?
I said Derrick Henry.
I said Lamar.
Ryan said
You
Lamar.
said-
He's Lamar, yeah.
I think it depends on who gets MVP. It's like kind of
Yeah,
I agree.
those are like the front runners. So like whoever gets MVP, the other guy's going to get it. I think it depends. It depends on that. But right now, I give Offensive Player of the Year to Derrick Henry. I mean, just the season he's been having. That Ravens team's been so fun to watch. And Defensive Player of the Year, give it to Trey Hendrickson. My runner-up, Xavier McKinney.
David McKinney.
There
Yeah,
you go.
my runner.
yeah,
There
he's
you go.
not been mentioned, but yeah, leads the league with 6 interceptions.
Actually, I think he's tied with someone.
Yes, he is.
with
Kirby
some-
Joseph.
Oh, yeah, of the Lions.
Yes, good call. Yes, both have 6 interceptions.
Freaking Kirby Joseph.
Unfortunately, Xavier McKinney has not been able to get a pick every single game, which sucks. But
So we're in week 10 now, so he's going to make that up this week.
so what? 4 interceptions.
He'll get four
Four
interceptions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Four interceptions.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Well,
Cons-
actually, he
conservative.
can't this week. The Packers are on a bye.
Oh, so he has to get 5 interceptions next week then.
No, he'll
Yeah.
get 4 interceptions in practice, and then it'll count
Yeah.
towards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Fair
alright,
enough.
so
Fair
it's
enough.
He could probably pick Jordan Love 4 times off anyways.
Yeah. I'm going to go
I
also
hate to
with
say
Derrick
it,
Henry, Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive player, I am going to go Dexter Lawrence. I love that shout out. I think he deserves a lot of attention, but we are probably going to go, well, anyways, first ever 91.7 The Edge Offensive and Defensive Player of the Year. Offensive Player of the Year goes to Derrick Henry. Shout out Derrick Henry. And Defensive Player of the Year goes to Trey Hendrickson. For him. And we're gonna finish with MVP. We're gonna have to go very quick here. We're gonna have to speed through picks here. So quickly, MVP. We're just gonna go quickly around the room. What do you have?
Kirk O'Chains. I'm kidding. Lamar.
Oh yeah, he's getting excited in there.
Jaden Daniels.
Trey Daniels.
Lamar.
I have Lamar.
Give me Derrick Henry. Why not?
Okay.
Don't
I
hit
like
it.
that.
Believe it or not, gentlemen, I have Jared Goff.
Really?
Really?
I like
Yes.
that.
87 passing yards a couple weeks ago.
He is a stats guy, though. so-
MVP.
Yeah, I have Jared Goff. He's leading one of the best offenses, one of the best teams in the league, in my opinion, so far.
That's fair.
That's not a bad pick.
Just playing on
Yeah,
another
I
level.
respect it.
Yeah. But with majority vote going on in this room, we're going to give the first ever 91.7 The Edge MVP Most Valuable Player to Lamar Jackson. Congratulations. Gentlemen, if you're tuning in, just come down to the station to pick up your awards. They'll be waiting here. So
It'll be a little flight.
yeah, it'll be a little flight, but we'd love to have you. So
Yes.
and now with my
Autographs,
goodness, with 10 minutes left, goodness, we are going to have to absolutely fly through the Week 10 picks here. So, Thursday Night Football, we have potentially Game of the Week here, Bengals-Ravens. We're just going to do a point and pick here because, unfortunately, we do not have time. So, here we go.
Baltimore.
Ravens.
Derrick Henry, Lamar, and the Ravens.
The Ravens.
NFL fans everywhere win tonight. That's who I think is going to win.
Finally.
I love that.
Yeah, very, very, for the people. But
that.
yeah, dude, finally a good Thursday night game. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But I'm also going Ravens here. I'm going Ravens for the Thursday night football game. Moving on to a disgusting London matchup between the Giants and the Panthers. What are we saying?
Giants.
Giants.
Panthers.
I got Panthers.
Let's go.
Nobody wins this game.
Don't call it a win streak for the Panthers.
It's a tie. It's a tie.
No, Chris called it a tie a couple weeks
loses
ago.
I'm
this
still
game.
disappointed I called a tie, and it wasn't even close to a tie.
What game was it?
Unfortunately.
I think it was Jags and
Jags,
Patriots,
Patriots,
and
yeah.
the Jaguars just blew them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. Yep.
In London.
It
London.
could happen sometime this season, though. A tie could happen.
I may
possible.
call one today.
Oh,
I just
okay.
gotta have that
We'll
feeling.
see.
All right.
Foreshadowing.
I just gotta have that feeling.
I am going to also pick the Giants in this disgusting matchup. We're going to go Giants over Panthers. Moving on, Patriots and Bears. We're going to start in the fishbowl.
Duh, Bears.
I have the Bears as well.
Sadly, the Bears.
Ugh, the Bears.
Depressingly, the Bears.
Also, the Bears.
I think it'll be a
Clean
good matchup with May versus Williams.
Yeah.
Like a good
That's
rookie.
actually
a
good,
good
yeah.
matchup.
Oh, yeah.
To
sweep.
watch.
Something worth watching.
gonna be
Yeah,
close.
How about
exactly.
that? It's gonna be
That's
close.
the only good storyline of the game.
Yeah, pretty much.
Moving on, Buffalo Bills and Indianapolis Colts.
Buffalo.
Bills.
Bills.
I have Bills.
Bills.
Bills, they're going to absolutely whoop on my Colts. So, go Bills. Moving on to Denver Broncos and the Kansas City Chiefs.
Ooh. Give me Denver. Why not?
Ooh,
Give me
okay.
Denver.
In Arrowhead.
okay,
In
in
Arrowhead.
I have
Yeah.
a Denver upset as well. I have a Denver upset as
Ooh,
well.
I like it.
Oh, I got the Chiefs. It's not even close. Sadly, Bo Nix is not going to get it done this week.
Is it hot in the fishbowl? You got some hot takes going on there.
Bo Nix jersey.
I
right
am
now.
sweating.
Bo Nix
To be
jersey.
honest.
If the
I'm
Broncos
being dead
win,
serious right now,
I love
Zach. It is hot in here.
One, the Broncos are my second favorite team.
Yeah.
Two, I'm a big Bo Nix believer. This is my upset pick of the week.
Yes.
Give me the
Yes.
Broncos over the
Yes.
Chiefs.
Okay.
First loss of the year. Let's go.
I'm
baby.
sorry, but the Chiefs' defense is too good.
I know,
I
but
gotta
still.
go the Chiefs.
Bo Nix
upset.
is too good.
You got to believe.
Yeah,
Upset.
Bo Nix, I don't.
Believe
I
in Bo
think
Nix.
I believe in Bo Nix, but I think the Chiefs will make him look silly.
Yeah.
Okay. Gentlemen, just for
Don't
you
you
guys,
dare.
we're going to go with the
Do it.
Broncos.
Do
We're going to
it,
go with the
yeah.
Broncos.
Hey.
Yeah.
I am
Welcome to the
picking,
dark side.
I'm picking against the Chiefs until they lose.
I
They
mean,
cannot go
okay,
undefeated.
I hate the Chiefs too, but come
Yes.
on.
I hate the Chiefs too, and I love underdogs. But at the same time, like, the Chiefs are going to dog on the Broncos. It's not even going to be close.
I think, didn't the Broncos beat the Chiefs last year?
That was
I
last
think they
year.
did, yeah.
I think they might have.
Hey.
Is that with
yeah.
Russell Wilson?
Raiders. Raiders.
I hear an
Chiefs.
upset coming. That's what I smell, and that's what I
I hear
Potentially.
absolute just lies.
Yeah.
Bo Nix is gonna
anyways,
catch and run for it.
unfortunately,
Blasphemy.
fellas, we got to keep moving. We only got 6 minutes 45 seconds here. So, we have Falcons Saints.
Atlanta.
Kirk O'Chains and the Falcons.
On to Alex.
I actually have the Saints here.
He brought it back.
He brought the outfit.
Give me Atlanta.
Is it even a question?
Ryan, who you picking?
Kirko Chains until he loses.
Wait.
All right?
Do it.
Kirko
Hey.
What about that Cole's cash, though?
So,
How about that Coles?
How about that Cole's cash?
yeah, unfortunately, apologize, Alex. We are going to unfortunately pick the Falcons here. I'm just going with the Falcons. Moving on to the Niners and Buccaneers. Interesting matchup here. Who you got?
Give me the Buccaneers.
Okay.
I'm a big Baker Mayfield guy.
I have the Niners.
Niners.
I got the Niners.
I have the Bucks.
Niners.
I also have Niners. Don't hate Buccaneers shout. Should have
Baker
won.
Mayfield.
Should have won, by the way.
Dude. Oh.
Against Chiefs.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Literally,
You
coin
saw?
flip.
Did you see Baker's head go like?
Yes.
Yes.
Rocks his head. He's like,
I knew
It's
when that
crazy.
coin flip. I was like, yeah, they're
it's over. Yeah, it's time.
The refs are not helping their case in
No, they're not.
No.
the allegations.
Allegations are very much alive. Moving
Definitely
on.
being money put
Yeah.
between hands. That's all I gotta say.
Pittsburgh Steelers and Washington Commanders.
Washington.
The Commanders.
Commanders.
Steelers.
Steelers.
Wow.
Fellas.
Yup.
Are you going
Okay.
Steelers?
No, I'm going Commanders.
Okay.
Hey,
Is that a tie?
No.
No.
If you went
it's
Steelers,
like
you're
we're
going
the
tie.
Tiebreaker.
what? It's like
Okay.
4?
Or no.
Pick Russ.
It's 4-2.
to 2.
Dangerous.
4
I mean,
two.
It's
forward
all.
two.
It's
The hot take guys want
You
the
gotta let
Steelers.
Dangerous
Do
go.
not
I don't
give in.
hate that.
Do
I don't
not
hate-
give in.
Well, it's like
Don't-
what?
Zach,
No, it's
Zach Smith,
Hold on.
Mike Williams.
Hey, let Russ cook.
Mike
Let
Williams
Russ
and
cook,
Preston
right?
Smith. What a needle mover for Mike Williams and Preston Smith. Whoop-de-doo.
Hold on. Actually, that's a good point. Though.
Don't you-
Preston Smith in press coverage against the second best
Watt as
receiver.
well.
Yeah. No, I'm going Commanders.
Oh, wait,
guys.
wait.
I'm going Commanders. guys. I'm
wait.
sorry. I love Jane
I
Daniels.
heard Preston Smith is going to match up on Terry McLaurin this week.
This is what I heard. Yes.
Yeah.
Which means he's shutting him down. So.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Zero
Terry McLaurin's going
receptions.
for 80 yards.
Anyways, we are going Commanders. Moving on. Next matchup, we have Vikings Jaguars in the fishbowl.
I'm gonna unfortunately have to go with Minnesota.
Okay.
Going Minnesota as well.
Vikings.
Oh, as much as it pains me to say, I have to go with the Vikings.
Give me Minnesota.
All right.
Minnesota.
Jaguars suck. We're
Minnesota.
going Vikings.
Minnesota.
Ski you,
Yeah. Shout out the election that just happened. On to the Titans and the Chargers.
Oh boy.
The Chargers.
Chargers.
We're getting another Will Levis meme in the Chargers.
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 Yep, and I'm also going Chargers. Clean sweep back-to-back picks here. On to the Eagles and the Cowboys back in the fishbowl.
Philadelphia.
I got Eagles.
Eagles.
Philly.
Cowboys have been hot trash this year, so Philadelphia.
That's a good point.
There we go.
I
Also
think
go
Cooper Rush
Eagles.
has a good game though.
Yeah.
That's right.
I-
Cooper Rush
I
is
can see
starting.
it.
I
Is
think
starting.
Maybe.
I think Dak is gonna have season-ending
That would be
surgery. I heard.
bad. That would be bad if Cooper.
Dak might have season-ending
Well, I know
surgery.
for sure he's on IR,
Yes,
from what I've heard.
and he
so.
might be out for the year. And Jerry's booking the ticket to Cancun.
Man, hamstring injuries are no joke.
Without even going to the playoffs. It's just
Yep. Wait, Dak is hamstring? I thought it was his hand.
Hamstring, from what I heard. I know they took him out for his hand, but what they said is
It was
they call it a
hamstring?
hamstring injury. Yeah.
Okay.
They're calling it hamstring. So.
Quote unquote.
It's always a
And,
hamstring.
hey, those things linger. So I don't know.
Hamstrings are no joke.
No.
They're definitely not. Moving on to the late game, we have the Jets and the Cardinals. So we're going to start in the fishbowl. We're going to start with Ryan. Who do you have in this game?
I am a closeted Cardinals fan, as I have been
Absolutely.
told.
Yes?
No,
Give me the
really?
Cardinals.
Yes, we knew this.
Ah, Cardinals.
Give me the
Okay.
cards.
Give me the Jets.
Okay.
tough one, but I'm going to go Cardinals.
Cards.
We're going to go Cardinals. Yeah. Shout out to the Cardinals.
Let's go.
You need to get a Cardinals jersey, by the way.
I know, dude.
should do
I
that.
know.
Get K1.
JJ Watt.
It was okay. So I ordered 4 jerseys, right? It was my
We need to
final
get Larry
2
Fitzgerald.
between Neighbors and Marvin Harrison, and I went with Malik Neighbors.
Not a bad pick, yeah.
Yeah, it's the throwback blue one, not the new throwback, but like the older throwback
Those are-
ones.
those are
No,
They're
no,
so
no. You need to
clean.
get a Larry Fitzgerald. Come on now.
Yeah, that's.
I know
that's
he's
the
not
jersey.
playing anymore, but come on
That'd
now.
be a good one.
Yeah,
Well, no.
man. Speaking of Marvin Harrison Jr., man, has not really been doing what he was supposed to.
He had
do.
that one big game where he had
He
like
did.
100 receiving yards in the first half or something.
Well, moving on to the night game,
Well-
which is it would be matchup of the week
Here's where to have these
if the
ones.
Texans were healthy. So we have Detroit Lions and Houston Texans. We're gonna start here. Who do you have in this game? Sunday night.
Detroit.
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 Give me the Texans.
Give me the 3-1-3, the Detroit Lions, baby.
Okay. I'm also going Lions. I do think this could be a trap game for the Lions. I think if they're not careful.
I think the Lions win by 10. I think it like
By 10?
yeah, I think they
Okay.
say it could be a good game. It's gonna be a good game to watch. Obviously, I'll have popcorn on.
Oh, for sure, yeah. But I'm picking my MVP, Jared Goff.
Oh,
here,
yeah.
so,
Yeah.
Going the Lions.
Popcorn will be in the microwave. That's
And
for sure.
the last matchup with a minute 20 seconds left in the show is the Miami Dolphins and the Los Angeles Rams. Interesting matchup on Monday night. What do you guys have starting the fishbowl?
Give me the Rams.
Give me the Rams.
Rams upset.
Rams.
Give me the Dolphins in overtime.
Ooh,
In overtime.
Wow.
That's a
okay,
good take.
okay.
I like that. I'm not against it.
it's at SoFi too. So
I actually do not hate the Dolphins pick. I will pick the Dolphins, but obviously we're going Rams because majority in this room is going Rams. Yeah, interesting Monday night matchup. Dolphins, man, 2-6. That Tua injury really did not help them.
Yeah.
But
no.
yeah, all right. So those are the picks. Obviously, we're always right. So please make sure to tail us. We're actually 63-27 on picks this year.
Yeah,
so
that's pretty
shout out to us,
solid.
fellas. Great job. Great job. Doing good. We're doing good out here. And with about 30 seconds left, we are going to unfortunately have to say goodbye to another Thursday edition of Hawk Talk here. Wish this could be a little bit longer because we love talking sports with you guys. You've been listening to 91.7 The Edge, WSUW Whitewater, and tuning in on UWW TV through YouTube. Big shout out to Gabe for
Let's go,
being
Gabe.
here, filling in for Hunter.
RP represent.
Love it, love it, love it.
There we go.
Anyways,
Women's
I will get
sports.
the two
specifically.
Women's sports represent.
Thank you guys.
New article coming
We
Monday.
are going to bring you back to some music.
Little self-plug.
Thank you. Have a great night.